What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Realignment Dynasty. And as you could probably tell, we are going to take a look at some games, some highlights from around the NCAA, because we got a really great opportunity to have this recruiting special, man, and we are checking out on some of your custom guys, see how they're doing. So gonna be a good episode. Hope you're excited for it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you have to be brand new as we get it underway with a nice TFL from Wayne Barkley, the middle linebacker for the Wisconsin Badgers, taking on Iowa State in this conference championship. Now, Iowa State, they are ranked number 11 in the country right now, so they have a chance to hop into the college football playoff, seeing as it is top 8 teams. So now we'll see if our Wisconsin squad, led by Wayne Barkley on defense, can they do enough to go ahead and play spoiler. Third down, gonna try to get to the sticks, as Wayne Barkley did end up seeing that there, but it is going to be enough to pick up the sticks, as Barkley doing a good job flying all around the field. He's not the fastest linebacker that we have seen here in this NCAA dynasty, but that being said, you know, very instinctive linebacker. He's going to make plays for you and does have a really excellent motor. That's something that I also love about this kid. He is not going to give up on a play as we jump into the fourth quarter. How about Wayne Barkley cutting that pass off ultimately? And that will end up sealing the deal for the Wisconsin Badgers. This defense was able to force 3 turnovers, 2 of which did end up being interceptions. And that's going to settle it here. Wisconsin is going to win the football game. They win by a final score of 32-15. And so Iowa State's college football chances are completely done. And it was a good game for Wayne Barkley in his senior year. 6 tackles, TFL, a sack, and of course that cherry on top, he did also get an interception to help seal the deal. But now we go into one of the most toughest conferences here in this realignment universe. We got the Deep South Conference Championship between Georgia Tech and UCF. Now, UCF, they are, of course, the number 2 team in the nation, 11-1 overall, 7-1 here in this Deep South Conference. But this is just goes to show how tough the Deep South is. Georgia Tech is 9-3, and they are still ranked in the top 8 right now. They have the most losses along top 8 teams, and we'll take a look at Dash Randolph playing for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. A little bit different than the offense that they run just like a few years ago in real life. They actually do like to occasionally spread the football around, getting away from their triple option roots. As now we'll see if Dash Randolph can, put together a really good game and, give credit to his UCF defense. They are not allowing the big play. They're trying to keep everything in front, forcing Georgia Tech to be a little bit more patient and really forcing this offense to make some mistakes. So Dash Randolph, his guy's having a hard time finding the end zone. Here he tries to take a deep shot there, but Dash Randolph, he can't locate the football, but what he does do to make up for that, he will at least make the tackle so that he doesn't get very far. But that being said, wow, Dash Randolph having a hard time finding the end zone. He will get a 2-point conversion at the very least, as well as help make some very contested catches, because, man, UCF, they are not allowing many catches in the zone defense. They're really making us work for it, that's for sure, as Dash Randolph comes down and makes yet another catch. As we go to a 4th down, eventually down 31-8. Dash trying to make some plays happen. Actually does pick up a decent amount of yardage, but it is going to be too little too late here, as UCF actually blows the doors off Georgia Tech, as the Knights end up winning 51-15 here in the Deep South Conference Championship game. Now, Dash Randolph, only a sophomore at this point. He puts together a really good game, though. 9 catches, 71 yards, does not find the end zone, but he does get that 2-point conversion. So, tough look for Georgia Tech, however. As for UCF, they did have Jaden Battle play, but not start. He also registered a tackle, which was solo. But now we go ahead and check out what we got going on with the college football playoff, and this bracket is now going to get revealed. Our Michigan State Spartans, man, even though we lose in the conference championship game, we are actually still the 5 seed because of all of the insane action that has happened over the course of conference championship weekend. Matter of fact, Miami of Ohio, they also get in. They were like 15th, 16th in the nation when we played them. We did lose to them, so they do get that final spot, and they will take on the only undefeated team in America, the Penn State Nittany Lions, from that Yankee conference. And so that will be a tough matchup for sure. They are led by Ben Swerve as well as Nas Evans on that Penn State squad. Great Mid-Eastern Conference, man. We get 3 teams in, including Miami of Ohio, Michigan, who we will play in the next episode, and then, of course, there's us at number 5. Rounding out the group, we, of course, see UCF at 2, USC at number 3. Troy gets in there as an independent school, and then rounding out the group, who I didn't talk about, is Tennessee, who is going to be that number 7 seed. But we go ahead now and get bowl season underway with the Ohio State Buckeyes, and they got 2 very special custom players, Nathan Games, the junior redshirt, as well as Zachary Davis, the true senior wide receiver, as Games is going to throw to his favorite custom, Zach Davis. Huge catch downfield, 18-yard reception. But this Ohio State offense struggling a little bit early, making it a little bit harder to go ahead and try to get some plays to happen, but relying on his receiver to try to make some things happen. As, you know, Nathan Games, you know, he's moving the ball downfield between the 20s, but, you know, when they get into the red zone, they're having their struggles, they're having their problems. But it doesn't change the fact that Nathan Games, he's going to be a senior quarterback to watch in his senior season, man. Very talented quarterback for sure. As he looks over to the left-hand side, finds the custom once again, Zachary Davis. He's going to find a 17-yard reception here. Solid day for Zach Davis. What will end up being his final collegiate game of his career, as Davis will make the catch. He'll cut up field and get to about midfield as they try to mount the comeback against the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. Down by 17 at this point, surprisingly, as that's a good for a 25-yard reception. We'll see if they can get it into the end zone, though, as Wake Forest, they send the blitz, gets it to Zach Davis, who finally finds the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes. And Zach Davis with a 31-yard reception to end the third quarter to at least go ahead and make this a 2-possession game going to the final phrase. But nothing else happening after that, as that is what the score ends up being. So we'll be an upset here in the New Mexico Bowl, as Wake Forest, they are actually going to pull it off against Ohio State to end their season. And it was one of those games where, you know, Nathan Games, he wasn't as sharp as you would like to see him. 19 for 29, so the completion percentage was pretty good. 230 yards, touchdown, but those 2 interceptions, that did end up being a backbreaker, unfortunately. But Zach Davis was pretty solid in this one, though. 5 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown to his name as well. So we keep the recruit special going. We go now to the Idaho Famous Potato Bowl, as Arizona State is going to go ahead and take on Texas A&M, a top 25 matchup. That has to be one of the more high-profile games that the Idaho Famous Potato Bowl has seen. But Seth Randolph is actually hurt in this game. So Zeke Lightning, another custom recruit. He's usually like that third corner dime defensive back. He's going to actually appear in this game. So we're going to see what he's got, man. Getting some full-time reps, being a full-time starter. Very talented player in his own right. We'll see what he can do here, man. As Joseph, he's going to throw to the right-hand side. Gets it out the hall. Zeke Lightning going out there and at least making the tackle. But definitely a little bit of a busted coverage there. As one thing that I do really like about Zeke Lightning, someone that likes to come up and make the tackle in the run game. You really do like to see that. And speaking of making plays, how about this right here? Zeke Lightning almost getting the interception there. And he's going to come up huge on this particular drive. He gets the slot on 2nd down. He gets the tackle there to force 4th down. And then on this 4th and goal, Arizona State trying to throw into the end zone. And Zeke Lightning, once again, getting the deflection. Can't get any interceptions. You hate to see it, but you love the defensive effort here. Just couldn't bring it in. That's the only reason why it's not, the perfect defensive play, right? But that being said, third down, trying to get another interception. He cuts it off extremely well, but it does also end up getting deflected away, as now 3 deflections for Zeke Lightning, and also a touchdown saving tackle here towards the end of the game that will ultimately help keep Arizona State at bay just long enough. And a little bit of a shootout here in the Idaho Famous Potato Bowl, but Texas A&M is going to end up winning the game. And Zeke Lightning was active, 10 tackles, 1 TFL, and then of course we saw those 3 pass deflections that could have easily been interceptions. But now we go ahead and jump into the Independence Bowl. We'll check in on the Houston Cougars taking on the Colorado State Rams, and a tough start for Andrew Kirby the 6th, as Andrew Kirby, he is actually, looks like he's going to fumble this football. It does end up getting overturned, but you like to see a little bit more ball security from your number 1 wide receiver. But that being said, he does make up for it later on in the game as we jump into the second quarter here. Houston at this point up 14-0, as we do end up seeing Kirby getting some plays downfield. Speaking of Kirby, how about the toughness that this guy shows? I'll tell you what, 3 catches, 47 yards, and it helps bring Houston up 21-0, and he's going to have himself a day against this really suspect Colorado State defense. Their defensive rating coming in, it was like in the 60s, low 70s. So no surprise that, Kirby is able to have a really strong showing here. I'm actually really shocked that Colorado State made it all the way up to number 18 in the country. They must have had some really special quarterback play or something. I don't know what's going on, but, Kirby, he's continuing to work those short patterns. 7 catches, 86 yards at this point, has not found the end zone still, as he does not break a tackle in the open field. He's more of a possession guy. He's not going to run away from anybody, but he is a really special possession receiver. 8 catches, 101 yards in this one. Does not find the end zone, but definitely an NFL prospect to watch out for here in year number 6 when it's all said and done. So up next now, we go to the Music City Bowl, and a little bit of a backyard brawl action here as we got Pittsburgh taking on West Virginia. And we're also going to take a look here at Julius Littman, the former Penn State transfer, moves to Pittsburgh to get some more playing time. And now that we're seeing Julius Littman on the field, he's doing some special things here in the Music City Bowl, as tight area that quarterback decides to throw the football in, but Julius Littman still making the catch. He does not make a ton of plays in this one, but when it comes to trying to get those third downs, he was able to be there and make those plays when it mattered. But it will ultimately not be enough here in the Music City Bowl, as West Virginia wins a really surprising chapter in the backyard brawl. West Virginia wins 20-17, but Julius Littman, he has a solid game in his last collegiate game of his career. Could go to the NFL. 5 catches, 54 yards to his name. Just could not get the job done here down in Nashville. But now we go to the last game I wanted to highlight. We got the Tech Slayer Gator Bowl between Miami and Army, and 2 custom guys I wanted to check out for sure, Muhammad El-Bassa, and then the true freshman who just puts the top off the defense, Walter Dornez. True freshman, instant playmaker for the Army, as Walter Dornez gets behind the secondary. It's a 46-yard touchdown, and it'll help Army take an early lead. But then Miami, they start to get themselves going a little bit more, going towards one of their top targets of the season, Muhammad El-Bassa, who has been able to contribute since his true freshman campaign. He's been a solid contributor and making some good catches here as well. No different as Miami builds their lead up. Eventually it becomes 31-13, a 10-yard reception for him, as we'll see if Army can get one big play for Walter. He gets it out to Dornez one last time. It's only for a catch of 8 yards. And while Army did have that hot start, they will end up being blown out in this one. Army win the Taxator Glare Bowl against the Army Black Knights 38-13. As we see the stats for both guys, Walter Dornes, true freshman. It's a great learning experience for him. He did have a drop in this game, but he still had a solid line, all things considered. 2 catches, 54 yards, and then of course that touchdown that we saw in the beginning of the game. But then Muhammad El Bassa, he was doing his thing as well. The Montreal Canadian product with 6 catches and 60 yards in this game. He did not find the end zone, however. But now we go ahead and focus in on that matchup. First round of the college football playoff, we will actually go ahead and go up against the Michigan Wolverines, a team that we have gone up against before in the past, but we are 0-2 against these guys, man. So it's going to be a tough stretch for us. We are going to really have to battle in that episode if we want to advance further into the college football playoffs. So should be a fun episode, man. I am really excited to see what the college football playoff has in store for our Michigan State squad, man. And if you guys are as well, man, I need you guys to go ahead, smack that like button for me, hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new. This is John Check Gaming on the mic signing off. I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.